we're going to look at publishing your data in tables. So in our example database here, we've got two tables of data. We've got the products and the variants, and each product has any number of variants. So let's have a look at birthday cake, for example. Birthday cake has two variants, two different sizes. So they could be different sizes, different colors, or however you've got your database set up. And when we publish the data, we're going to have a list of each product, and then after each product we're going to have a table showing its variants. So let's look at our publishing style sheets. In this one we've got the product name followed by the product picture, then the product's description, and then after that we want to have our table of variants. So we'll right click down here, add a new paragraph and name it variants. Next, CatBase needs to know what we want to publish in that paragraph. So we'll right click on the paragraph and choose add an element. Now I'm going to choose the element type relation. So a relation lets you peek from the data that's currently being published, in this case products, and find the related data in its related tables, in this case variants. So we will right click here, add a new paragraph, and I'm going to call this variants table. Now here's the important bit, the tables area. So we're going to choose create a standard table from this paragraph. Now I'm using CatBase version 8 here. If you're using a previous version, this area may look a bit different. In version 8 we have another option, publish with a custom table, and that's for more complex tables, which we will look at in a separate tutorial. So for now we're just going to choose a basic table, and we're using the table style called variants, which has already been set up. If you want to create a new table style, you just click on the pencil icon and you can create a new one. So the table style will determine things like whether there will be a header row or a footer row, and what the default styles will be for each row. Also notice these options over here on the right. Set table width. So when you're adding the columns to your table, you get to choose how wide you want each column to be. But sometimes you may have a variable number of columns for a product or a record, depending on maybe what data has been populated and what data hasn't been populated for any particular product. So in that case, if you want all the tables to end up being the same width, so they all look nice and even and tidy, you can choose set table width. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to say I want my overall table to be 9 centimeters in width. And this option here, include all fields even if empty. If all the data for a particular column in an individual table are empty, by default that column will not be included in the table. So as an example, maybe for some of your variant items you have a weight listed, and for some of them the weight is not relevant, so there is no weight entered. So if there is a weight, then for any one of the variants in the table, then that column will be included, and if there isn't, then that column will be left out. Okay. Now you might want to tick this checkbox if, for example, you want to include a column for people to print out a form and write something in the column, like for example to select parts they want to order, something like that. But for now we're going to leave that unchecked. So next we just need to specify how many columns there are going to be and what's going to be in each column. So we'll right click on this paragraph variants table, add an element, and we'll choose what's going to go into the first column. So I'm going to start with the field variant name, and if I click on the tables tab, we can see this is the text that's going to go into the header row, and we've got automatic width selected because we had previously told CatBase that we want it to calculate the overall width of the table for us. Now, in order for it to do that accurately, we need to enter the font size. So I'm going to make it, no, I'll leave it at 10. Yeah, that's fine. Save that. And next we're going to have the description. Again, the header is fine. If you want to, you can just change the text for the header, and we'll leave automatic width selected and save that. And finally, let's have the price. So we'll choose the price, price each. Okay, now for this one, we want to do some things a little differently. We want the price to be right aligned in the column instead of left aligned like the rest of the text is, and set in a slightly different style. So let's go to tables, and I'm going to choose, instead of default paragraph style, no, sorry, that's for the header. This is the column body part. Instead of the default paragraph style, we're going to have a style called price. There we go. And also, I want the width of this column to always be, let's say, 3 centimeters. So no matter what the sizes are of the other columns, this one, the price column, will always be 3 centimeters. Let's save that. All right, let's see what we've got. So we'll go to, oh, we better save this first. Okay. Let's go to the Publishing main tab. Choose Publishing Projects. Here's a project we set up earlier, Catalog for InDesign. This is the publishing style we were just looking at. So we'll just publish that now. Okay, let's see what we've got. So I'm going to switch to InDesign. Here's my InDesign template. Oops. So we'll just import that file that we just published from CatBase. And let's see what we've got. So here we have one product name, picture, description, and then the table. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. So here we can see we've got a table that has 2 columns. We've got the variant name and the price. And if we look a little further, right, so here's one that also has a description included for each variant. So we have the product name column, the description column, and the price each column. Now you can see that our price is formatted a bit differently. It's set in red and bold, but the formatting isn't quite right because I wanted it to be right aligned. So I just need to adjust the paragraph style for that particular style, which is the price. I'll double click on price, and I'll go into indents and spacing and choose right. Save that. So now all the prices are aligned on the right. Now a couple of things I want to change here. First of all, the price each column is actually a bit wider than it needs to be. I made it 3 centimeters. It could actually be maybe 2. And also, just for fun, I want to color the background of the variant name column. So let's see how to do that in CatBase. Alright, so we go back to CatBase, go back to Products, choose our publishing style, expand the variants paragraph, double click on our relation, and then expand the variants table, which, if you remember, this is the one that has the list of the columns that are going into the table. So first of all, let's make the variant name column have a nice background. So we'll go into the Tables tab, and I'm going to choose Cell Fill Color, and let's make it light blue, and save that. And then for the price, I'm going to change the width of that column. Let's make it 2 centimeters instead of 3. And also I've just thought of something else I want to change here. I'm going to go to preferences. I want to include the currency symbol for the prices. So we'll go into number format, and I'm going to choose this one. So it's going to put a pound sign in front of the prices. If you wanted to use a different symbol, you can change the default symbol in preferences, or you can just change it here. So insert text before number, so we choose that one. Insert text before number, and you could put in, say, a dollar sign. In fact, I'll leave it at that. Okay, and save that. Right, let's see how it looks now. So we go back to publishing, we'll republish the catalog. There we go, back to our InDesign document, and re-import the file we just republished. There it is. And we can see that we've now got a nice sort of light blue background to the first column, and the prices have a dollar sign in front of them, and the column is narrower. There we go. Now what if we want to change the appearance of our tables? If I select one of these tables and I go into, if I open up my table style palette, you can see that the table style variance has been specified for this table. And if you recall, back in CatBase, we told it to use the table style variance. Let's just have a quick look at that. Publishing style, there we go. Variance table style, okay? So we can make changes to that style to change the appearance of the tables. Let's say we want to change the background color of the header row. Open up that style, and we can see that the cell style for header rows is called header cell. So let's just cancel that, and let's open the cell styles. There we go. So header cell is the one we want to change. And go strokes and fills. So it's currently set at black 50% tint. Well, let's change that to blue. Okay. And now you can see, actually it looks a bit weird, but that's how you change the styling for the tables. And you can change all kinds of aspects of the tables by going into the table styles and the cell styles.